Hey everyone, I am Teresa Lowe. You are here with Talk with T.LO. And today it is Monday, December 28th. We have some hilarious guests. Returning to the show, we have Yoshihara, and we also have comedian Tayne Morano. So we're going to wait for them to enter the room. Let's see, what else is going on? I had Christmas. I had my birthday. I turned 36 this year, so I'm very excited about that. Oh, we have Tayne and we have I. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Okay, what about you? Let's see with start with Tayne. What is new with you, Tayne?
Wow, it's been a really good year for starting new things. No, let's see. I showered today and I ate a salad. So that's pretty good for me, I think. I'm doing pretty well. Starting the week strong.
Wins, right? Little wins. Eat that salad, right?
Exactly.
What about you, I? What is new with you?
I was so much better than last time.
That's good. And why do you feel that way?
I think I got it over with, all the stress was out from my system. So I think I feel better now. And then, and I was just literally woke up an hour ago and it totally, today was like, what am I going to do today? And
well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you made it here. So that's all that matters. And speaking of the holidays, no one was speaking about the holidays. That was like the worst segue that I could have come up with. But
that's a good segue.
But what is your New Year's resolution, right? New Year's is coming up. What do you hope to accomplish in 2021? Start with you, I.
I think I want to do not freak out about my New Year resolutions. Like stop freaking out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
you feel like you freak out a lot.
And then I just want to focus on only few things, instead of trying to do so many things. So I think it's a good that in this year I slow me down a lot. So I just I like that. So maybe more I should be more focused on a few things and take control of one thing at a time. Yeah.
No, I like that a lot because it kind of reminds me a lot of like the Marie Kondo method, because after I read that, I was like, I should actually say no to more things and like not collect a bunch of stuff, not collect a bunch of jobs, like kind of like narrow down the people I hang out with. And I feel like that creates a lot of peace. So that's actually also my resolution. So it's really cool that is yours. What about you, Tayne? What is your 2021 resolution?
This is the first time I've even thought about it, even considered it. I just felt like 2020 was going to bleed in to 2021, not to be morose or anything, but I guess if I had to put some thought to it, I would like to take everything I'm doing now, all the things I learned this year, and just bring it to the next level. I just want to keep the momentum moving forward. I think this was a good year, especially for comics. We're usually in the rat race and we're doing mics every night or doing shows. And I think this year we all kind of acquired some new skills, like how to produce more content online and how to work that side of the business as well. So I just want to hopefully we can do shows next year. I'm hoping at some point we'll be back on stage, but I want to take all the combined lessons I learned and just level it up.
And speaking about online content, both of you have been like killing it on social media. Do you guys consider yourselves influencers?
I don't know.
You go first.
You go first. I'm like,
I'll tell you what, I when they released Instagram Reels, I don't know if you guys are making Reels. I saw a couple comics have success and I was like, I'm going to try it. And after like a handful of them, a couple of them like went viral on my page. That's kind of been it. It was like really like anticlimactic. It was really awesome, like millions of views and like a couple of people like I think like reached out for like product stuff, but it really takes so much more than that to like really sustain yourself as an influencer. I think you really need to constantly have your engagement up. And I'm gonna be honest, it's exhausting. It's really hard So I do not consider myself an influencer.
With what is exactly is an Instagram Reel? Like I've seen it pop up the feature, but I don't fully understand it. What is it?
It's basically it's the same thing that Facebook, Instagram does with every other app is they'll adapt it. They somehow get the rights to put their own version. They did it with Snapchat, you know, they did it with IGTV, which is like their YouTube function. Reels is their TikTok function, which arguably is probably the most talked about and popular social media app right now. And for some reason, I can't figure it out. I think it's because I'm 30. I don't know. I can't figure out how TikTok works. I put the same videos on TikTok and they just don't work. But it's essentially, it's just a video. It's just like a continuous 15-second loop. And they're quick. I think they're easy to digest. People can consume them, you know, in their car at a red light and then send it to someone. So they get spread around more, I think. But it was Instagram's answer to TikTok pretty much.
Oh, that's interesting because she's been doing really well on TikTok. Like I've seen that you have millions of likes. Like, how did you blow up on TikTok?
Awesome. With TikTok, I just but before I did, I researched on YouTube. I think you can learn anything from YouTube.
Yes.
I was like, I was just following this guy, Robert Benjamin, I think, and he in his video I was watching what time I was supposed to post and how many. He said 5 to 6 videos a day, but I was like,
wow.
No, I can't create that fast. So I try like one a day, 1 or 2 a day, and 2 at the most. But I just posting every day. And also I wasn't also, if the content is shitty, nobody, you know, you won't get views. So trying to focus on content and more jokes and stuff, and then it blew up. And yeah.
Do you guys have teams or do you do it by yourself? Like it's a lot to do that much content by yourself.
By myself.
Whoa. Okay, wow, I didn't expect
it's
that.
exhausting.
Exhausting, seriously exhausting.
Yeah, my girlfriend is so supportive. I kind of feel bad sometimes because I'm like, I need to write all day long, or I'm like, I need 3 hours to shoot a video. And you feel so silly sometimes. You're like, this is just silly. I'm like a 30-year-old man, I'm wearing a wig and I'm smashing a pie into my face for validation on the internet. But it's like it all these small little steps, like you can end up for example, like I believe Oprah Winfrey, her show when she started, I think it was in like the late 80s or 90s, it was almost like shock value. And then she built it into what it is today. And I feel like that's how you can use these views. Like you can do it, your content needs to be engaging and fun, but like you might feel silly doing it, but one day hopefully you can build it up. And it is exhausting to do as one person for sure. I've been off of it lately because it's tough.
Me too. It's just so exhausting, and I have to take breaks too. And then my boyfriend and also my English is second language. It's like obviously, so like I need help. His help. What should I say? And he's always correcting me, and also sometimes he gives me ideas and stuff. But it's exhausting. It's a job. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah,
that doesn't pay yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I feel the same way because I used to be bigger on Twitter and I used to tweet jokes and like that's how I got to like a network with like TV writers and things like that. But then I got to a point though where I got so tired of constantly tweeting that I kind of just like stopped using Twitter, I think for like even over a year. And then it's almost like everybody just bypassed me where it's like I took a break way too long where like now it's like my tweets don't get engagement. I think I just like lost everyone because I just stopped doing it. But I used to tweet probably like 10 times a day. I used to be one of those huge trolls, and now it's like people are like, who the fuck are you? You know, so I was like, oh my gosh. But I remember doing it. I remember also spending a lot of time like on Twitter. Like it's a job. Yeah, it's definitely a job. And like it's kind of an interesting thing too. Like some people are kind of haters to influencers. Like they say they're annoying, but what are your thoughts on that? Like aren't influencers at this point just internet celebrities?
I think there's a weird stigma that comes with it, but in reality, this is just a new form of media. It's new. It'd be like people who are just on the radio criticizing people who do TV. They're like, oh, you're one of the TV people. But this is how the modern human consumes media, is through these things. We stare at these all day long. You know, this is, so if you can build a network, all you're doing is building a network, and eventually you can take that network and they'll follow you anywhere. So I think it's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
I think we're frozen. Oh. So I think we froze for a second, but did I ever go out? I was here the whole time.
Yeah.
What about you, What do you think about influencers? Like, are they, you know, do they deserve the stigma or do they not?
I don't know. I don't seriously. It's seriously till this year. I was so scared of social media. I didn't do anything, and then I was just TikTok. I just did it because I was scared, and then sticked with it, and then I didn't expect this much followers this year. But those people who are negative people, trolls, they were like, I don't really pay attention to them because those people who say negative comments on my thing, they don't usually they don't have their pictures. So they're just just bullies that they just wants to put people down. That's what their whole purpose. So like I always say, okay, if you can't even show your face but you're shitting on my content, so like but these days I just say, oh, thank you for commenting. It's how even though you're a negative comment, it will help my algorithm. So
yeah, exactly.
More helping me. So yeah. Give it to me. So
Gianluca wrote a comment saying influencers are the new movie stars and they will slowly take that position, which I think is true. Like, I think to the next generation, like an influencer will matter more than like a movie star at this point, which I think makes sense. So BuzzFeed, they published an article about this year's 16 influencer fails. And so I wanted to ask you guys what you think of these certain stories. So there was a YouTuber named Gabby DiMartino, and she had an OnlyFans account, but she got in trouble because she posted a picture of herself as a baby, but naked. And they're like, this is child pornography. But it's weird because it's like, okay, to a pervert, yes, that is a naked picture of a baby. But then I'm also kind of like, should you get in trouble if it's yourself? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I'll start with you, Tayne.
Oof, that's a weird one.
Right?
Well, how was it, like an infant, like just born baby, or was she like 3 or 4?
She's a toddler, so I think that would make her probably 2 or 3 or something. But yeah, so she's not an infant. Like, yeah, so she's a toddler, and then it's like an innocent picture, probably like in a bath. I didn't see the picture, but it's like just a baby. But she was, they were like, you're a child doing child pornography. We know it's you, but still you can't put that up. And so her account got suspended. And it's tricky because it's like, what if it's yourself? Are we not allowed to post pictures of ourselves? I don't know.
Well, I think with that format, like the OnlyFans format, and I don't know much about it, but it's similar like Patreon, right? Where you pay for the content.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, she might be within her rights because, people, it's almost like there's not like a governing studio or something that's saying you can't air this, or there's no censorship, so, but at the same time, I just want to go on record, I don't condone child pornography, but
definitely.
Did she do it to be like perverted, or was she just kind of like trying to be cute or something?
I think she didn't realize what she was doing, because if you really think about it, it's like we probably have pictures of ourselves with our siblings in a bath or all that stuff, and we don't think to ourselves some pervert's gonna like do something with it. So we just innocently share it, and I think that's what happened. It's all innocent on her part, so there's nothing wrong with her. But it's just more about the idea, like, man, can we not even share innocent pictures of ourselves? And maybe we can't, because the world is just that kind of place. What about what do you think?
I think it's so stupid. I don't know. It's just, baby, it's just we change. I see my friend my friend has kids, and I saw, naked baby changing diapers, and I changed their diapers too, and it's just something that very pure. Baby came out naked, so I don't know if it's I think it's they're trying to be politically correct too much these days, and losing the sense of like um of the human being. Everything is offensive, and everything is people are so get upset about everything these days. And
Even like a hypothetical question, if you had children and you wanted to make like an Instagram account for them or something, but would you do it, or would you be too scared of like the perverts of the world, like looking at even if your kid's just like in a swimsuit or something, but would that be too much for the gross people of the world?
I think if I can monetize my kids' Instagram, people, it's weird. People love, perverts aside, people love babies and puppies. Like I know people that have like dog Instagram accounts, and they're like living off of just taking pictures of their dogs. And like you have a little kid like try to make brownies or something, and he's trying to, you know what I mean? Sure, go for it. I'm all for it. This is America. Like, make some money.
What about you, What do you think?
I don't know because I don't have a kid, but yeah, me too. If I can monetize my kids' account, sure. And it's like, I'm afraid to have a girl though. I always thought I want to have a boy, because girls are more like, I don't want my girl to get hurt by, men. So boys are easier to protect, I think.
So true. It's so funny because I'm dating this guy and he is Italian, and we were just joking that if we had kids, they'd be really hot. And like I was like, yeah, if we have kids, we're gonna make them famous kids, and we're gonna monetize them. So I also had the idea, let's monetize our future children. And he's like, no, it'll be unsafe. But it's like, what, it might be unsafe, but I'm like, the money, our kids will be so attractive. So I don't know. It's tough.
I think that's a regional thought too, because I think we all live in Los Angeles, so we're like, oh, we have a kid, let's make it famous and live off of it. But like if you lived in maybe like maybe more of like a working class, like Midwest, you're like, oh, you're 5, you need to start, get on the tractor, mow the lawn. So it's just a different type of work, but we're like, yeah, put that kid to work.
Even though like when I see TikTok and the young teenagers, they were like shaking their, tweaking, and like, they were like dancing half naked. I was like, oh my God, where's your parents?
Living in their mansion. That's where the parents are. Yeah, they're living in their mansion.
Yeah. I was like, I just feel, they make me nervous a little bit. Like, thank God they're not my children.
I feel like that's all of our future children based on this conversation, is that those twerking kids are going to be our kids. But you know what? It's better than the tractor, I guess. Because
yeah.
When I was a kid, my parents, since I was 12, I had to work at their restaurant, and it was just like really hard manual labor. And so like, what is the difference? It's like we're being exploited in different ways. Like that's the whole point of having children, is to exploit them.
Yes.
So another thing that BuzzFeed talked about with influencer fails was that these 2 YouTubers uploaded a video of them having a big party during the quarantine and being like, we don't care, And so what do you guys think about that though? Like if influencers, it's one thing to have a party, but if you advertise it, should those people be arrested? What do you think,
Advertising? They were advertising that, hey,
I mean, for instance, like if you have a party and you keep it on the DL, the cops probably don't really care. But if you're going to like post it and show off and basically have evidence all over for like thousands, possibly millions of people to watch, should they actually be arrested to kind of show a message? Because it's like they're actually just blatantly breaking the rules.
Oh, you mean this in a pandemic? Everybody's quarantine.
No mask. Like the rules say no parties.
And yeah. I think they should be arrested. Yeah. They should all arrest because not because they're breaking the law. I'm just jealous. 2020 is like everything is dark. And, like you guys are having fun and drinking without me. Like fuck you guys. You guys go to jail.
True, but yeah, but that's the thing. It's like they are breaking the law, showing it off, and it's like haters are gonna call on them, and it's not only, it's like a lot of haters are watching, so it's like, why would they do that? Yeah. What about you, Tayne? What do you think about these illegal parties that influencers are showing off?
I think it's like this, like adhering to the lockdown rules, wearing a mask, limiting your gathering size, being safe. It's kind of like doing the speed limit. Like if you want to do 120 miles per hour when no one's around you, that's fine. But if there's traffic, even though it's just your car that's doing 100 miles per hour, like you're going to put other people in danger. So shorthanded, do I think they should be arrested? Maybe not, because they're kids and they're having fun, but whatever. But I think that it should be maybe shut down. It should be broken up, and there should be some sort of reprimanding there, just because that kid might be next to someone at the grocery store who has a parent or a girlfriend that's at risk or whatever. So
but that's
yeah.
Let's say they post the party like the next day, so the party's already over, but it's but then it's kind of like, well, how do you still punish them? Or is it like, should you even punish them? Like I was even thinking, like I talked to my sister about this, about the guy who died on the airplane recently, and it turned out he knew he had COVID, got on the airplane and like died, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Wow.
And he was with his wife who also had COVID. And my sister, she's a doctor, and was like, that couple, like since he's dead, he can't obviously be arrested, but she needs to be arrested.
Yeah.
It's like a public health issue, and like granted at these parties, they don't know they have COVID or not, but at the same time, it's like they are kind of risking it. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn where I'm like, maybe give them a big fine. They're rich enough, like at least get some money off of it. I don't know. It's all about advertising.
I think they should get punished. I think it's because that's how my my boyfriend's sister recently passed away from COVID. And it seems like her coworker knew that the person had a COVID and came to work. And then my boyfriend's sister was sitting, her desk was across from the person, and she got it and she passed away. And it's just, I think it just should be, people should be very serious, be serious, and then take it more really be punished by this, because otherwise people knowingly passing away, it's just this is not right. Yeah.
Oh my God, but that is insane. Like, so the coworker who gave her the disease, is a coworker still alive?
I think so, yeah. So it seems like the person knew, and the person was sick, seems like, yeah, and it came, yeah.
That's
the person is still, I haven't heard that the person died, so must be alive.
It's kind of similar to like people who know they have AIDS, and that period of time when they're having sex with people without condoms and not saying anything. It's like people now aren't taking COVID as seriously the way they didn't take AIDS seriously back then, where it's kind of like, no, people do die, and so that's a very crazy story.
Yeah.
I guess moving on to the COVID relief bill. So Trump did sign it. Like he made a big deal. He's like, oh, I'm going to give everyone $2,000. And no, it's going to be $600. $600 is not much, but I guess it's better than zero. What would you guys do with your $600 check if it came in?
I want $2,000.
I know, I'm like, what would I do with $600? I would just do something boring, like pay off my previous debt or something like that. Yeah. Like, because it's not that much where I'm like, well, I'm not gonna buy anything new with it. And then it's like, so just pay it off, be very boring. What about you, Tayne? What would you do with your check?
I think I'm gonna save all my money for the COVID vaccine. I'm just putting it all aside. I'll take that $600 and I'll put it aside. I'm probably last on their list. No, I don't know. $600, like what? I mean, that's like essentially, without like sharing too much, that's essentially what I was getting for unemployment, and it's not livable. It's not. Yeah, so $600. I don't know. Maybe yeah, I don't know. I would maybe just probably pay bills. Yeah, things that I'm behind on. Maybe try to get better health insurance or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
something I could use.
yeah, but it's just like you're right. It's like they're forgetting that we've been in a pandemic for 9 months. It's like, are we supposed to spread our like 9 months of previous bills? And then it's like, um, I don't know how long the pandemic is going to last because I know there's a vaccine, but then there's like news of a new strain coming out where I'm like, I don't think we're going to be out of it in 2020. I really don't. I think it's going to be at least fall of 2021, at least. So I'm kind of like, prepare, like
Yeah,
what are you guys' predictions of I think I asked this last week, but it might have changed. When do you think the pandemic's going to end?
I still think, yeah, like summer,
Mm,
hopefully by end of the summer, or
yeah.
yeah, but hopefully I'm hoping it earlier because I'm going to be crazy. I'm already crazy. Living this the living situation. I'm hoping it's gonna end earlier, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that soon before summer.
What about you, Tayne? What's your prediction?
I don't. Yeah, it's tough. I think. Well, all of us being Los Angeles residents, I think it's going to be a little longer here, which is interesting because I think we've like implemented like a more severe lockdown, and it's just I don't know why LA just can't figure it out, but I think everyone who right now is tweeting and posting like, "Oh, thank God 2020 is over." I think they have a little bit of that like grass is greener syndrome, and there might be like there's that new variant of the virus that's going through the UK. There we don't really know long-term effects of this early stage of the vaccine. We don't know what's going to happen with politicians. Basically, the news cycle is so dense and constant. Like I don't know. I don't really. I have no idea. I can't make predictions. I'm just gonna sit and hopefully my $600 will keep me afloat.
I know, right? And it's like that $600. You're like, yeah, that covered the previous 9 months and the next 9 months. Like, fuck you, Congress.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy alcohol probably. It looks like I'm gonna sit home. I'm gonna put it towards my Netflix subscription, and then just get a case of like hard seltzers backed up to my door and just wait it out.
I've been listening to people, not I guess not listening to people, but reading their like Facebook comments, and people are like in LA are talking about leaving LA at least for just a few months and going to Texas because Texas is wide open and the comedy scene is like blowing up there because it's happening.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it doesn't mean that the virus is gone, So it's like they're just like going out, and I don't know, like I kind of wanted to go, but then I also thought, nah, it's not safe. So I'm just gonna stay here. But like, would you guys go to another city for a while, or are you gonna stay put?
I think I'm gonna stay put. I think because so many people left, I kind of want to be here when like the ashes settle and we're allowed to get back out there. Um, yeah, I think it's weird because people will be like, "Oh, I'll see you in Austin." Like other comics said that to me. I'm like, I'm not going to Austin. Like I know so many people that went to Austin because Joe Rogan's going to open a club.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't guarantee you're gonna get a spot at the club. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick it out. I think there'll be rewards for us who are sitting put and being patient, and we'll see what happens.
That's true. It's so funny though. Yeah, the magic word is Austin. I think that's it. It's like it's not even just Texas in general. It's Austin. It's like
Austin.
how
Yeah.
powerful is Joe Rogan that everyone's like Austin.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about you? Would you test out Austin for a little bit? Or are you gonna stay put as well?
I don't know because I went to Vegas last month and I did a live stand up thing, and then I was scared. I met so many people, but I was okay. I didn't get COVID because I was very careful
Yeah.
wearing a mask whole time. So I don't know. I don't want to travel too much. Like, and if I have to take airplane to get somewhere, then I was like, I think about like, maybe I'm not. But if I can drive to this place that I can drive to get there, and I will do. I will go, but not with it flying.
Vegas trip a little bit. Like, were you indoors performing, and was there any fear doing that?
It was indoor, and also, and it was like the sold out. Some shows are sold out, so it was like, it was competition thing, and then some shows are sold out, and then customers are not, perfectly. It was more. They were safe. Customers are more, they was really careful about putting people 6 feet away.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It's if you're also also you make sure you don't like it. I was taking vitamin C every time before I go to see people, and so I think it helped a lot. But I don't know, some people, and there's about 100 people there in the competition, and only 2 people got COVID.
Wait, but did they get COVID there?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh.
But some people are not wearing masks,
Whoa, but 2 people got that, but this is statistic is basically that, like 1-2%.
Yeah.
And
wow.
happened. Weird.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah.
What happened though after they got COVID? Like, were they okay? Did they go to the hospital or?
I don't know. We just got an email that only 2 people tested it and positive. That's what we heard. But yeah, but everybody else was fine. So yeah.
It is such a the game of who has COVID, who doesn't have COVID is so crazy to me. Like, I remember so for a few months I took a job at an art gallery, and there was only, I think, 6 people who worked there, and one guy did get it, and we're like, and like then the boss was like didn't clean up afterwards, and then the guy like wanted to come back in a week, and I was kind of like this is too much. So I quit for other reasons as well, but that was one factor where I was like, this place is nasty. So I was like, but like, okay, so after you had a close COVID scare, did that make you not want to do any more in-person things, or do you still possibly sometimes will go out and in person and do a show, like one of those secret speakeasy shows?
Yeah, I will do it. Because I know I'm careful, and I know,
Okay.
I feel like I know how to handle it.
What about you, Tayne? Would you, or have you done any secret speakeasy shows that are live?
No, I haven't done any. I would though. I think what I want to do is I want to put together a show. Ooh. Because I know I'm a bit of like a control freak too, and especially when it comes to contracting something that could possibly kill you. I like to be the one who's kind of controlling it. So I want to find a responsible way. Maybe we can do it on like Garcetti's lawn or something. I think he's at Hancock Park. We could stage it as like a protest. We'll have everyone with their signs, but really we're doing stand up, or we'll make it like a mic. But I want to maybe put a cap on it, maybe like 12 to 20 people, like not a big group. Everyone will we'll measure out 6 feet apart. You only can come with people of your bubble. But I would like to start doing live stand up sometime soon. But make it really safe, and make sure that we're really spraying down the mic and everyone has to wear their masks, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd like to get out there and do something. There's nothing like it, like you're on TikTok and you're having success on there, and Teresa, you put out a lot of content, and it's fun to do stuff online, but it's not the same as like, it just takes 12 people in front of you to laugh at something that you worked really hard on. You like built this joke and like the setup, the punchline, and that's such a rewarding feeling, and I miss that. So I don't want to lose it. It's not like riding a bike. You got to practice.
Yeah, that's very true. And it's kind of interesting when you're talking about the protest thing. It's kind of like, might as well. Because I remember remember going to the 3rd Street Promenade and walking there, and there are so many people, and they're actually live performers, like people singing and stuff. And I think to do that, you have to have a permit. And I was like, how the hell did those people get a permit to be allowed to do that? But they had a huge crowd. And then I looked into it. I was like, can I get a permit to do stand-up on the promenade? But they're not issuing it to people. So I'm kind of like, well, if you just went there as a protest, get some signs, I don't think they can force you if you're not making money. I think another hack is just to go to the 3rd Street Promenade. So, but I like the idea of going to Garcetti's house because I hate him. I hate Newsom. I'm just kind of like, I'm like, but I don't know if I'm just being like unreasonably angry. Like, I don't know if they're trying their best or whatever, but I'm just very not a fan of them. Right. Moving on to the next.
He just seems like he doesn't. Oh yeah, hit it.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry, Tayne. What were you gonna say?
It was not a groundbreaking POV. Don't worry, we're not missing out on my asides.
Well, the next topic is something very strange, but I saw this in the Huffington Post where it was a guest column where a woman basically said because of the pandemic, she is stuck with her family 24/7, like, working there, the kids are there. And so now she has just went ahead and told her young children, me and your dad are going to go have sex. And the kids are like, okay, bye. And then they go in the room and have sex and come out. And to me, I was like, that is wild. Like, I don't know what I think about that. So I would probably just rather lie to my kids and not tell them I'm having sex. I think that is so weird. But what do you guys think? Would you do it? Do you think it's weird? Whatever. We'll start with you,
I don't know how they can get turned on by that. I don't know. I don't know. If I have a kid and if I say that, I feel like I get turned off, and like I just can't focus. I don't think kids are listening. They're listening.
Like, it seems too weird, and like the kids are like cool with it. I think it's like the parents pretend it's not a big deal, like it's just nature or whatever. But I'm kind of like, ew, like I think it's gross. Like I'm not into it, and I'm very like sexually open, but not for that. So I was a bit like, but I mean, to each their own. It doesn't sound like it's psychologically harmful, but I was like, that is weird.
Yeah, and if their kids like, ooh, mom and dad is having fun.
It's weird. I don't want them to cheer me on. Like, no, I don't do. What about you, Tayne? What are your thoughts?
It's uncomfortable. I think, all right, unless your kid's an influencer and they're gonna put it on and they're gonna make money off of it, it all goes back to that. If they're gonna monetize, they could sell the audio, put it on OnlyFans. No, I don't think. I think those parents lack creativity. They got to think of a better. You can't just be like, we're gonna go have sex now. There's got to be. You could be a little more creative than that. You've never like lied to get out of something. You're not like, yeah, oh, I don't want to come because I don't feel like it. Think of something. Tell a little white lie. Don't just say. Also, how old are these kids? That's just weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One kid is 8 and one kid is 11. Where to me, that's just so weird. Like, I would not tell little kids that. Like, I think it's even, I've seen, adults kiss in front of kids, and even kids are like, and they're like too intrigued. At that age too, the kids are like, and to actually like spell it out for them is, I don't know. But then I also don't know if that's like, oh, is it just because America was started puritanically and like, we're just not comfortable? Like, I don't know if other people are into that. Like, I remember I went to high school and my friend told me when he was a kid, his mom used to walk around topless with her boobs out. And I was like, oh, I thought that was really strange. But to his family, it was completely normal just to be like that, like nipples didn't matter. And so it might be a personal preference, but personally for me, it's too weird.
The European of her.
Well, I want to piggyback on the mom with her nipples out. That's a real thing. No, because I'm noticing now that we're covering our faces, when you see someone's face, like in person, it feels like you shouldn't be looking at it. Because we're starting to condition our brains to like not see this part of the face. You're just so used to only seeing eyes. So I think if you just walk around with your tits out all the time, it becomes normal. It's just like a natural thing our brain does. So Whatever. You want to tell your kids that? Go for it.
Michael Damien said, my parents would tell me they were going to lock the bedroom door and talk about Christmas, and they talked about Christmas a lot. But if I'm right, it's like at least come up with like a phrase or something, you know? But then
Yeah.
going back to the nipple conversation, right? We have sexualized female nipples, but not man nipples. Like, for instance, like you can be shirtless on Instagram if you're a dude, but like you can't even have side nipple if you're a woman. And is that fair? Like, do you think it's just the way it is? What do you think? Should we free the nipple?
I think they should free the nipples. Yeah, free nipples. I think because I won't do it because I'm more shy comes to nudity. But I think women who are so comfortable with themselves, they should do it. They should. I think it should be okay. Women shouldn't be so worried about, you know. But I think society is making us like make us uncomfortable doing it. So that's what make me sad, you know, because we've been seeing men's nipples, you know, all the time. We just jogging and always men running with the shirtless. So it's just I don't know why it's not okay for women, but okay for men.
Women are not turned on by men's nipples the way men are turned on by nipples. Like, so I have taken like lingerie pictures where you can see my nipples, but I'm wearing a sheer fabric over. So technically I'm covered, but I can't post those on Instagram. But even though if I do post something with a star or something, men get too turned on where like, I kind of get why they censor it, because even though maybe like ethically shouldn't matter, it does matter, because for some reason men do go buck wild. I don't know why, but they just do.
It's the same. I think it's because we censor them so much. Like if we were conditioned like indigenous tribesmen who live, you know, out of civilization, everyone's naked all the time. They don't sexualize it because they get to see it all the time. I think that's part of the reason. So I think I'm team free the nipple. But there is a caveat. We're going to take away from a lot of people's OnlyFans careers, because if you could just see them all the time, there's no point to jump on OnlyFans. It's not fun anymore.
Oh, you know what? I think in that case, we need to censor the nipples so that these people can get their money.
Get that money.
Yeah. I love this phrase, get that money. And then, I guess also segging into something similar was that on Bumble, there's a woman who tried to post a picture of her wearing a bralette, but she was indoors, and, you know, they took off her picture because apparently as a woman, you're not allowed to be in underwear in your Bumble profile pictures, but you are allowed to post like a bikini picture, but only if you're outside. And so it seems like just a very arbitrary thing, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, does it matter? Does it not matter? Like, do you think that this rule is stupid or not? What about you? I'll start with you.
I think, I don't know. It's for the dating app, and if you insinuate sex, and then like she is asking, hey, I want sex. You know, I think she's maybe sending that message. So I think if that's what she wanted, that's fine. I think, you know, if that's her thing, then I think, okay, so let me think. I think it's okay to
to censor, or she should be allowed to put pictures.
She should allow to post.
Oh, interesting.
But if men send her dirty messages, then she shouldn't complain about, you know, like, because it's a dating app, and if she looks like she's sending a message that I want to get laid, that then if man wants to sleep with her just for that reason, then she shouldn't complain about, you know, because
why Bumble took it away, because Bumble wants to be not Tinder, right? Bumble's like, oh, we're the classier site, so they're just like trying to be more restrictive. Like,
Mhm.
I kind of like get what they're saying, because they also tell the men like you can't be posting those bathroom pictures with your shirt off either. So it's like I kind of like how strict their rule is in general, because it's not like they're like censoring them. They're also censoring the men is what I mean. So it's kind of like, I kind of get it, like to keep it away from the Tinder territory. What do you think, Tayne?
I think the effort is a nice sentiment.
Mhm.
Like exactly what you were saying. Try to kind of make it less more, I guess, more marketable in a sense, because I know like people who are on Tinder, it has a stigma. It's like, oh, you're on Tinder. And then Bumble's a little more like, you know, accepting, I guess, in a way. But I think what you said, like a woman in her underwear is not okay, but if she's in a bikini, it's okay. I think that's a weird,
Yeah,
and
it's
I guess it's like, it's probably like an algorithm that's looking at it, because there's not someone going on looking at everyone's photos. So I think that's just a little silly, in a sense. So I think the sentiment of making it a little more, I guess, a marketable and a safe place
Mhm.
to go on and date online, because it can be scary. You don't know these people. I think that's nice, but I think that like specific rule is kind of weird.
Yeah, like she definitely, like what I loved about this woman is that she played around with it some more. So what she did is she took her picture that got banned and then photoshopped an outdoor setting to be like, oh, see, I took it out. And then they banned her too, because they're like, we can tell it's
Oh
Photoshop.
wow.
He was like, what's the difference? You said I could wear a bikini outside, and then they're like, it has to actually be taken outside. So she really started to prove how dumb their rule is, where I think in general, they should just get rid of the outdoor bikini pictures if they have such a problem with it. Because
yeah.
it's like, we can see a picture of you with a shirt on and tell if you have a nice body or not. You don't really need to like blatantly show us, you
And
know?
That's
also, she
true.
shouldn't be like, she should just move on to just Tinder instead. She should, if she, yeah, I feel like if some people a little bit more conservative should be on Bumble, not, and people like her should stay in Tinder. And I don't think we shouldn't be complaining. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, I think.
Like so you guys are both in relationships, so I don't know when's the last time you've been on a dating app, but like what is the oddest profile you've ever seen and why?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What is the weirdest dating profile that you've ever seen, and why was it so weird?
I saw one that was just a picture of Jeffrey Epstein, and he was holding a doll with a blank face, and it said, "This could be you." And I think that was probably the weirdest thing. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Teresa took me way too serious. I don't know. She was like, and that's who I'm dating. No, we're in love now. This is an undisclosed island I'm on right now. I saw there's so many weird ones. There's so
Yeah.
many like car crashes on there. Like, so I think, and you're only looking at them for like, your brain just knows like which way to go. It becomes like a reflex. I think one of the funniest ones I've seen, I don't know if you've ever seen Pulp Fiction, but there's a character towards the end where they call him the Gimp, and he's just a dude completely in like a leather suit. It's just a tight leather suit, which I think you might. I know you write for like Hustler and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these
Yeah.
completely like leather suits. It was just one of those, and there was a hole for the mouth. That was it. And that was one of the funniest ones I've ever seen. But yeah, there's a lot of black holes on there for sure.
Like the ones that are so obviously crazy, where you're like, oh, this person knows they're crazy or what they want is crazy. Like, but to me, like the Bumble shirtless pictures or whatever, like not Bumble, but just what they're trying to get rid of. To me, it makes sense, because like whenever I see dudes and they have their bathroom, like basically like their American Psycho type of photo of like their abs and stuff, to me, I'm like, those guys look like serial killers. Like, it just, that to me is like scarier than a dude wearing the leather, because the dude wearing the leather, I'm like, Oh, you have a fetish, whatever. The dudes who post those bathroom pictures, I'm like, you are the true sociopath because you probably have a great job, but you're probably going to murder me and get away with it. Like those guys scare me online. So I'm like, ugh.
Absolutely.
And like, so Tayne and I, did you guys meet your partners on apps or how'd you guys meet your partners?
I was on the app for a while, and then I just didn't, I hate it. And then I just gave up. And I told myself, you know what? It's okay to be single rest of my life. I gave up. And but I was completely gave up and he showed up. So, and we met at the Haha Comedy Club.
Whoa, he went with you to see a show, or is he a comic too?
He just wanted to try stand up. He does speak in the speak. He does a motivational speech kind of thing. Yeah. He always wanted to try it. So that was his third time and the last time doing this open mic.
That's true. Haha is a strange place to start. Yeah. What about you, Tayne?
I was trying to avoid this, but so all right. I met my girlfriend on Tinder.
Ooh, nice. Okay, that's nice.
So I almost like I was just so jaded. Like I wasn't seriously looking for anything. I would just go on and I would just say, like, my profile was a joke. I can like show you my pictures were all deformed. It said I was a stripper. Like everything was like not serious. Kind of like how I am in every other aspect of my life. And she just started messaging me funny stuff and like she could keep up. And I was like, she's funny. And then, and it happened during the pandemic, believe it or not.
Whoa, but wait.
Okay. Yeah.
If your pictures were all jokes, how does she know you were like attractive or like her type? Like, or was she just messing with you when she saw your profile?
Well, I think my main, like the first one you came by, I like my eyes were all like deformed and I looked funny. But if you went through, I think I had like a couple of like normal pictures on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't like just all my information, like all the prompts they give you to answer and like questions, they were just all silly. Like they were just pure silliness. And that's actually what attracted me to her, is that she could be just as silly. And then, but we met on Tinder and I always forget that. And we'll be at like a family function and they're like, so where did you guys meet? And I'm like, I'm just going to let her take this.
Is she a comedian too?
She's not, no, but she's really funny. She understands humor. She's really sarcastic and she just understands humor well. So
that's awesome. It's when people have like a good story too. It's kind of like during the pandemic, I started dating as well. And I use this like BDSM kink app or whatever. So like I was on this app and I met this guy. This was not a success story. This is more of a horror story. But so I met this guy and he was from a different city and he came to visit me. And I was kind of like, okay, that's weird. But he came to visit, we had dinner. And then during the dinner, he's like, oh, I have no experience with the lifestyle or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't want to date you. So I just like ghosted him. But he kept writing me messages. And like the first message was like, I really want to date you and blah, blah. And I was kind of like, whatever. But I would read them and just not respond. But he basically wrote me a long essay that like I never responded to. And then eventually by the third message, I get this message from him saying, I really, like, he was a white guy. I really want to have sex with 2 Black men. And I'm kind of like, how do I, fit into this equation? Right? I was like, what? Why are you telling me this story? And then I was kind of like, this doesn't even sound like BDSM. It just sounds like you're gay. Like, I was like, so I was like, oh, okay. But that one obviously did not work out. But so that was like, I guess, a weird app story. But I later did meet someone nice off the app. So I think that was a bonus. But yeah. So I know a weird app too. So.
Yeah, I know a few people got married and they met on Tinder. And they got married. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. How long did they date?
Yeah. I think I don't know.
How long did they date before they got married?
And us?
No.
They
Your friend who met off the app.
Oh, I think they dated maybe a year. so it wasn't that long.
So they don't use it as a hookup app. Like it doesn't have to be a hookup app.
No, I don't think. Yeah.
I think you could meet off anything. Like I've met people who like actually formed a relationship off of like seeking arrangement, that sugar daddy app. So it's almost like whatever, just meet people, whoever. But then it's also kind of weird. It's like, do you tell people a more nicer app? Like for instance, I don't know if I would tell my parents I've meet guys off this like BDSM app. That's just too weird, right? So I'll just say something like, oh, okay, Cupid or something. I feel like that's what I'll lie about. But like apparently publicly on a podcast, I'll tell people. So but like Tayne, like with your app, so you tell people Tinder, you don't like change it to another app?
I did at first. And then I was like, who gives a shit? Like the first couple people I told, I was like, oh yeah, we met on Bumble. And it's so weird that we just get used to like Tinder is gross, Bumble is more accepting. That's why it was interesting you brought that up. But it's like, who gives a shit? It's just a way, it was the thing that connected us. It doesn't mean there's any sort of stigma that I met, my girlfriend on Tinder. So now I just say Tinder. I don't care.
Yeah. And no one looks at you when you tell people that, right? Like they're just like, whatever.
They usually get a chuckle just because of like the stigma around it, but they see us and they understand that, it's happy and healthy and they're both happy. Everyone's usually happy for us. But the initial response is usually like, I'll get a good roasting from my friends usually, but who doesn't like that?
And that's what's funny too. It's almost like even talking about like OnlyFans, right? Like, so I started a Patreon because I wanted to do that membership thing, but not have the stigma. But OnlyFans people generally make more money than Patreon, where I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done OnlyFans, but I didn't want to deal with like the stigma. But now I'm regretting it a little bit because I think that OnlyFans is more successful. So sometimes it's like, whatever, just do where the most people are and where the most money is.
And also, a lot of people have multiple accounts, like Tinder and Bumble. They have, not only one app, only one app. So I don't know. It's hard to tell what who. Just because, yeah, I did Bumble a little bit, but and then the guy I was just talking, he sent me a dick pic. And like, it's the same. Like, wow, Tinder and Bumble, what's the difference? You know what I mean? So
true, right? Because it's this, if you use all the apps, you start noticing the same people. So it's like,
yeah.
At a certain point. Like I remember I paid for eHarmony, which was such a waste. It was like kind of expensive. And they like sell themselves as, oh, we'll give you personalized matches based on a quiz you take. And they were literally just sending me everybody. Like they weren't matching my criteria. It was like even simple criteria of like where they live. They would just send me whoever. And so I was like, what a waste of money. At least these other apps are like kind of free. So I don't know. So we've actually hit the time, which is crazy. This was a really fun conversation.
Yeah.
So with Tayne, where can people find you?
I am my most online presence is on Instagram. That's at Tayne Morano. I'm trying to build my Twitter and TikTok, but yeah, Instagram at Tayne Morano. That's pretty much where all my media is, all my information.
Very
cool. What about you, I? Where can people find you?
I'm more a TikTok person, so my handle is my name Yoshihara, and yeah.
Very cool. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming out, and happy New Year. And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.